phones?
So the as we're less than 500 units total, that there will every facility, because I think I'm going to put my two small ones on storage as well. Every facility is going to have a local phone number, and that local phone number can ring through to either a recording, meaning like a voicemail, or they can message through like the bot thing, like this, like a Google bot basically. And so I'll get a ping on my phone to my personal number, screen through this other number that says, somebody says, hey, I want a 10 by 10. Do you have any 10 by 10s, or how much are your 10 by 20s? And so, basically I'll monitor my phone and jump back on them when I can and let them know, hey, here's what I have. We are not doing a call center at this point. If it gets to where we're losing business, or we feel like that plan is not working or starts taking up too much time, then we'll switch to a call center. But call centers are not cheap. And Stacy's talked about this quite a bit, and other folks in Storage Nerds have talked about this. Sometimes call centers aren't good. You're not getting, people have talked about they're not getting a lot for their money. And if we get, basically once we buy one, maybe two more, I think we're going to switch over to what Stacy's doing and have basically one central person who answer calls certain times certain times a day, certain times a week. And let that person, have access to our back end stuff and know what's going on in our different facilities, and then go from there.
So with your third facility, how big is this?
It's also very small.
Tell us about this one.
Yeah. So it's ironically, we went under contract and closed on that facility in 30 days. So while we're working on closing the Florida facility, this facility I've actually had my eye on for about 3 months. I say that because it's only 3 months old. It's a brand new build. I, through my family, knew who the builder was. I approached him and said, I'm interested in your facility. He said, okay, here's my price. And I said, no, thanks, I can't do that. And so then I went back to him and said, will you own or finance? Because I was basically willing to give him what he had in the property. I came back to him with, here's my price, meaning he had built 18 units and 7 parking bays. And so it was covered parking bays. I believe that the parking bay is going to be something coming down the road that actually grows quite quickly. This is very close to a lake and whitewater rafting and camping. And so I believe that there's a nice little market there for that. And the closest covered facility is about 6 miles away, but I'm actually closer to the lake. And so I think that's going to have something to do with it. This one actually has 3 acres. And that's the other reason we purchased it, is we're close. Actually, that unit's completely full. Those 18 units are full, and I got 5 of the bays full. So basically on that facility, I have 2 empty spots. And what's good is when I closed on the first Tennessee facility and I filled that one up, I started referring people who called me, because the new owner that the second facility was not on Google. However, I was, and so I was getting phone calls. And so every time someone called me, I would send them the other owner's name, and here's his phone number. And so I was kind of hoping, and it worked out, while I was filling our facility before we owned it. And so I was referring people over to that facility. Hey, call this guy over here. He's got a unit. I know he's got a unit. He's got a 10 by 20. He's got a 10 by 10. And so we filled it up. It's now full. And so literally today I was talking to a local bank here about adding on. So we're going to add another either 18 or 20 units. We haven't decided yet, but in the next few months, we're going to start the process of adding on another 18 to 20 units.